Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jake's Reviews coming at you with a review for Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Scorn. As you can probably tell, he's one of the Dinobots. He's one of the first three Dinobots to come out in Wave 1 along with Slug and Grimlock. And I really think he is the best of the three, not to spoil the review for you or anything. You can just save yourself 6 minutes and 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how long I'm going to ramble about this children's toy and just go buy it. Or you could listen. You know, I don't know. It's up to you. He is a Spinosaurus, pretty obvious there, but a lot of the Dinobots kind of have fantasy elements to their dinosaur modes that makes them a little crazy, a little more unique. Scorn kind of is a Spinosaurus. I don't fault him for that, because he really is a really nice sculpt. The figure looks great from a sculpting perspective and also from a painting perspective. This three-color scheme of orange, red, and gray works really well together with some subtle red highlights here, and the blue of his eye all just creates a really striking paint job. Red being my favorite color, I might be a little biased, but I think he looks great. I mean, I'm really impressed with the way he looks just in a neutral position. His articulation in dinosaur mode is actually something to be commended as well, because a lot of dinosaur figures suffer from terrible articulation, especially Transformers, animal Transformers in general. Just kind of had really bad articulation, which is unfortunate considering how cool they are. But Scorn actually gets away with a lot of stuff. He's got a fixed tail, no elbows to speak of, and he's got this gap here in his body that if you move his hips the wrong way, you can see right through him, as you can see right here. But the hip actually has really good range of motion. It goes 360 degrees. You get a thigh swivel here that lets him get a little more dynamic poses in the leg, especially if you fold this panel down, get a little farther. And the ball joints on his arms actually make up for the fact that he has no elbows, because you get a really good range of motion with that as well, just from the one joint. Now his head, if I can get this in focus here, is just impressive no matter what way you look at it. There's multiple joints all in this area here that let him really get any range of motion that you're looking for. Between this disc joint and a hinge in his neck. He does also have jaw articulation, which I really like. It basically gives him a lot of character, just all the different ways he can move his head. He kind of gets away with not having a super great body articulation, because his head allows him to strike so many poses, and he looks so great doing them. It certainly does help. His transformation goes kind of the same way as articulation does, in the sense that it's simple, but it is very effective, and you get more than you actually, you feel like you get more than you actually have. We're going to try to keep it in focus this whole time, but as anybody who uses manual focus in video reviews with a DSLR camera knows, it's a fucking nightmare, so we're going to give it a shot. The first thing you want to do is get this out of the way, pull this pelvis piece down. You're going to want to detach his chest here, just get that out of the way as well. Fold these pieces down so that it doesn't cause a clearance issue. And then once all that's kind of out of the way, you're going to want to unpeg the fins from his back. I believe it is actually a frill or a sail from a biology perspective, but you know, I didn't go to school for that. So we're going to rotate the waist here. And when you rotate the waist, this little bit of automorph comes in, raises the head up and brings the shoulders up just a little bit, not all the way for the head. You do still have to pull it out, and you do have to be careful because you can pull it all the way off. It's just a ball joint, so it does go back on, but it's not fun to go looking for a tiny knight head in a dark room. So just be careful. For my sake, please don't do the same thing I did. You're going to want to unfold his legs here. They're all curled up for dinosaur mode, but they kind of extend on this double joint here, and you actually get a lot more length out of them. You want to fold these panels out here, which you can kind of do that however you want. I prefer to cap them this way. Makes it a little less fiddly. You flip the middle toe of the dinosaur leg, dinosaur foot rather, forward, and it creates a sort of shoe. That's kind of what the vision I get from that. Sort of a steel-toed boot, kind of. You fold these forward, you get his legs all situated there. You take this pelvis piece here and make sure it's slid all the way down. You basically peg that in, and it will hold it not super snugly, but good enough. Snugly? I love super snugly. You're going to want to take this piece here and plug it into his back. It's going to just fit in there pretty well. It'll hold that whole thing together. And take his little dinosaur arms and fold them up against his back, kind of however you want. You can do them inside of his frill or outside. It really is up to you. You do get a fair range of motion with that ball joint. Like I said, you can basically put them wherever the hell you want. I prefer to put them on the outside just because it kind of doesn't interfere with this frill piece right here. So once you get all that lined up, he is pretty much done. You want to get his arms obviously in a more natural position. Now I keep his dinosaur mode, dinosaur head completely untransformed because I just prefer it that way. It looks like Beast Wars Megatron, and I love Beast Wars Megatron. But he does actually have a hand. If you fold this around like this, fold this piece down, and then all the way up, he does have a little hand that will flip out here, which he uses to hold his knife, which actually is hiding. It's a very cool serrated knife. It's kind of a solid red plastic, but it doesn't look too cheesy. It all looks kind of like, I know the red kind of gets washed out on the camera, but he looks like sort of delicious. Like he looks like candy. He's shiny and like solid red, and he just looks like he would taste good, which is definitely not a weird thing to say when you're talking about children's toys. Articulation-wise, in robot mode, it's much better than dinosaur mode. It's actually very good. He's got a universal shoulder here, a bicep swivel on both arms. Very good elbow articulation. It will go any way you want because it looks side to side. I prefer to keep this folded down just for the sake of having a good forearm. The spear arm is not great, but it's a spear arm, so it does actually pretty much do everything you need it to do. So, you know, you kind of get a pass from that. His legs have ball-jointed hips, thigh swivel, good knee, actually a double joint here for his articulation, so you can actually get some pretty dynamic poses out of that. His toes don't really do much. It doesn't really help you at all, and there's no feet articulation or ankle swivels or anything like that. But he stands up okay without it. His head, I did a little bit of modding. Normally it gets caught like right here where you can have it facing down and you pull it up and then it gets stuck and then kind of clips up that way and gets stuck in that position too. And it can't really look just straight out. But with just like a little bit of an X-Acto knife, you cut off some of those pieces back there. And he looks great. And again, just the aesthetic, the Knight Samurai aesthetic that all the Dinobots have, it comes out great in Scorn. I think probably the best without interfering with his articulation too much. He really is a beautiful, beautiful figure, and he's so fun to play with. I mean, aside from being photogenic, he's just, I have not put him down since I got him, and he looks great with his other Dinobots. You can see he's here with Strafe, who I managed to find today. I got lucky. The red and blue obviously go together really well. All their colors go together really, really well. I'm really just excited to get all of the Dinobots and get them all together and just see how they all look. They kind of remind me of like Power Rangers. I know people have said that 100 times. But it's the truth, and it's sort of this weird like dinosaur transformer fighting team, which is what the Dinobots are. And I think it's a new twist on their characters, and obviously in the movies they don't look as great. They look very gray and drab, but the figures I think are excellent. And again, if Scorn is an indication of any of the other figures, I know Strafe is good, Slug is alright, and Grimlock is very good as well. But if the rest of these figures end up more like Scorn and a little bit less like Slug, we're going to have a hell of a good time with these Dinobot figures, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So thank you for watching this review, guys. It's been a while since I've been in the review game. Hopefully this is entertaining for you guys, and I'll have some more to come. Like I said, I do have Strafe a little bit early, so I'll be taking a look at him next. Thank you very much. Anybody who still remembers these videos, I hope these are better than they used to be. Anybody who's new, please just go ahead and cancel the video now because I'm rambling about nothing. This has been Jake's Reviews, the review for Transformer Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Scorn. Thanks for watching, guys.